This week's episode is sponsored by the Brilliant Futures Institute. Nobody has it all figured out. Not any teacher, not any guru, not any pastor or priest or rabbi. Nobody has it all figured out. We're all stumbling through life, picking ourselves back up, dusting ourselves off, learning from that and moving forward. You need to find your own truth because your situation is 1 in 6 or 7 billion. Welcome to the Preeminent podcast.
You cannot be a courageous leader if you're not vulnerable.
Your legacy is every life you've touched.
The only thing that changes our life long term is when we raise our standards.
Now is the time to take risk.
The way it's always been done isn't necessarily the way it should be done.
What is your dream? What do you think 2050, 2100 is going to look like?
The most incredible sort of mystery, I think, is now the question of what comes next.
Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Welcome to the Preeminent podcast. I'm your host, Matthew J. Peters. Visit preeminence.tv to learn more about how to create a preeminent presence for your business, organization, or personal brand. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or just ask Alexa to play the Preeminence podcast. Today, I want to talk to you about the experiment. Now, what is the experiment? The experiment is whatever it is that you're thinking you need to get right, you need to figure out immediately. So many people are searching for the sure thing. They want everything they invest their time and their money into to work immediately. And when it doesn't, they quit. You see, most of us are 3 feet from gold, meaning we are digging and digging and digging, and we see that there are no fruit, there's no results, so we quit. But we didn't look for the signs saying that, yes, gold is there. Look, there's just the hints of gold. There's the gold dust. We're getting closer. We get tired, we get fatigued, and we quit. Or there's something more interesting, more exciting that's drawing our attention somewhere else. Or someone has a new partnership, someone has this new business idea, there's this new investment, and we drop what we're doing and move over there. When we do that, we will never be preeminent. Preeminent takes years of practice. Preeminent takes moving forward when things are tough, when they're boring, when they're slow, when you're losing money. You can't be preeminent thinking that I'm going to start this new thing right now and I'm going to get the results that I always dreamed of right now. Now, we know that we're intelligent enough to understand that that's not going to be the case, that when we go into something, we're not going to get the results immediately. But a lot of times we do this. If it's in relationships, if it's in our body, if it's in our health, boy, I'm changing my diet. How come I'm not losing weight? Or I'm lifting these weights. Why am I not gaining muscle mass? What are some key ingredients you may be missing? Who do I need to have on my team who's been there and done that and can tell me, yeah, this is what the books say, or this is what this guy says or this woman says to do in your routine, but for your body type or for your blood type or for you being a vegetarian or a vegan instead of a omnivore, this is what you need to do. And we forget to ask an expert. So what we do is we just keep experimenting until we get bored or had enough and we quit. But the reward is for all of those who persevere. You see, those who are preeminent have persevered through everything, through all the crap, through all the people saying it can't be done, through all the people saying you're trying to steal money from people, through the things that we do with our body that people are like, you still on that diet? Boy, it obviously isn't working for you. And you just keep at it. You just keep at it, keep hammering it. That's going to yield so much more results in your life than trying to do SEAL Fit for a weekend and just have enough and quit. Do things that are sustainable. And the sustainable thing is like the tortoise and the hare. It's that take a step, move forward. Take another step, move forward. Take another step, move forward. And you're not trying to be the rabbit in everything, saying, I got this great idea, let's make it work now. Sometimes you're under the gun. Sometimes you need to get things done immediately, but you also have to understand that when you do that, you don't have the experience that you receive over time. You're having to compress everything, and sometimes, most of the time, we're not realistic. But if we are realistic and understand, you know what? I'm choosing to be preeminent in this. I'm choosing to pursue mastery in this, and I understand There are going to be a lot of pitfalls. There are going to be a lot of detours. There are going to be a lot of people who come into my life as a distraction. There are going to be a lot of people who come into my life who say, I can't do it. And you know that you're going to keep on that path. If it's God or the universe or something resonates with you, saying, this is who I am, I found my identity. And I'm moving forward to become more clear on my identity myself and to embody that identity even more every day and then communicate that out even more. That's where you go from being a master, being quiet in the cave, to being a master, having other people promote you, is because you've communicated to them enough so they understand what you're all about, what your mission is, your vision, where you're going. You've discovered your purpose. It's that mission, vision, and purpose again. But experiment. Know that whatever I teach people, whatever you're learning from other gurus out in the market, you have to understand they don't have all the facts to exactly where you're at, what your audience likes if you're looking at marketing, your industry, specifics with your industry, your background, your training. There are a million variables. And for me to say, here's the one thing you need to do, everybody needs to do, I'm missing out on all those variables that are going to pertain to specific situations. So whether you're teaching somebody or where you're learning from somebody, you need to keep in mind that you're going to take a lot of experimenting time. It's going to take a lot of struggle. Just know that starting out. Now, I said this in another episode where some of the happiest people on earth are happy because they have such low expectations. When you set out buying a program and think, oh my gosh, I just invested $10,000 in this program, this real estate program, I'm going to go at it, and I know I'm going to make $100,000. Here's my goals. I put everything out into my schedule. I know I need to show this many houses, or I need to buy this many houses and do these many deals, and then I'll have $100,000 a month. You may be surprised when you start getting experience that you may need to experiment a little bit. Maybe your market's different. Maybe your buying style is different. Maybe you don't have the same resources and funds, or maybe you're not as good of a negotiator, or you're not as good with people. You're not as good with numbers as the person who is teaching you. You need to experiment in anything that you're taught. You need to claim it as your own and do it your own way, as long as you're getting results. You're moving towards your goal instead of away from it. If you're feeling like distraught because you feel like you're all alone and no one understands you and you're not getting the results, you need to get a mentor to give you a reality check. So many of us go in this silo as the Lone Ranger saying, no one else understands me, I'm just going to do it all on my own. And we have these little dreams, these little visions, these little missions that only include us. And we forget about everyone around us and how we can learn from all of them. We can experiment, but we also need to have our eyes and our ears open and an open mind to what else is going around us, saying, here's my goal. I really don't know what the best way of getting to that goal is. Here's some of my ideas. Here's this training I took. These are tools to help me get towards that goal, but I'm having my mind open, my ears and my eyes open to what else is out there, because all around me are answers to your questions. All around you is help in that situation that you're in. But when we close ourselves off, we miss all of that. So know that your business, know that your body, know that your relationships, know that your diet, know that your faith, it's all an experiment. Nobody has it all figured out. Nobody. Not any teacher, not any guru, not any pastor or priest or rabbi. Nobody has it all figured out. We're all stumbling through life, picking ourselves back up, dusting ourselves off, learning from that and moving forward. Those who we see as higher than us or more evolved, or people who have gone where we haven't gone yet, they've just done it longer. They've just been more persistent, and when other people quit, they just got back up and kept going. That's the only difference. They're no smarter than you. They have no more connections than you. They have figured things out, and they just kept moving forward. I just want to close with this. Understand that everything you do in life is an experiment. It's all an experiment. Your knowledge is an experiment. You're going to think of things right now that are so true to you that you will be willing to die for, that in 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, you'd be like, what was I thinking back then? This has happened to me several times. The things that I felt so strongly about were actually just projections on me. They were somebody else's experiment that I accepted as truth. You need to find your own truth because your situation is 1 in 6 or 7 billion. No one else has your exact same situation. That doesn't mean that other things that people are teaching you can't apply to you, but you do need to experiment. If you think you can go through this life without failing, that is the biggest failure because you'll never do anything. Know that you're going to fail and understand that that failure is just an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to gain from that and take that and then say, you know what? I understand that. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to do it differently. And that's part of the experiment. That's what life is all about. You observe, you act, you see what the result is, and you keep on experimenting, and that is how we grow. Stay at it. I look forward to seeing from you what kind of things you are creating in your life through your experiments, because that is the beauty of life, is the experiments that we do in our lives and how we share what our results are with others. Thank you for listening to the Preeminent Podcast. Subscribe to hear powerful interviews and insights each week automatically downloaded the moment they go live. Share this episode with your team, your friends, and post it on social media. Let us know your comments and suggestions for the show at m@ascend.net. That's the letter M @ASYND.net.